Our fall event season is kicking off. All the fun details are coming up on Council Conversations. Hi, I'm District 5 Councilmember Jack Hastings. Welcome to my Council Conversation Show. Fall brings cooler temperatures, which sparks a series of special events here in Surprise. From Fiesta Grande, which highlights our city's cultural heritage, to the surprise party that puts us in the holiday spirit. We love to bring the community together to celebrate. Today, I'm joined by Parks and Recreation Director Holly Osborn to talk about the events we have coming up, as well as some of our recreation programs and special interest classes. Welcome, Holly.
Thank you very much for having me.
Sure. So you are not new to Parks and Recreation, but you are a new Parks and Recreation Director. Could you start by telling us some of your background and just information about yourself?
Absolutely. I'm so excited to be in this new role. I have definitely a weird path getting into this. I started in Parks and Recreation as a lifeguard, actually, when I was 16. Okay. I ended up working my way in recreation. I got my bachelor's degree in Parks and Recreation from Northern Arizona University. And then I started in Surprise, just looking, and we were first starting the park. We were putting up spring training, the first year of spring training. I started part-time, and then I went back into the aquatic field. And then I moved up to a supervisor, oversaw youth aquatics, special events, special programs, really anything that didn't involve a ball of sorts. Yeah. I took an interesting path over to finance. I got my master's of business administration with a concentration in finance. And I worked over there for 6 years. So I was an assistant finance director, and I oversaw budget and procurement. So everything city budget related, that was what I was doing. And then this job came open, and I think it was just a great fit. I've always loved recreation. I'm a mom. I've been doing these programs since my kids were little in recreation and Surprise. So I really just wanted to help our city along, knowing the whole process and knowing all the players, and really just see where we could go.
Well, thanks, Holly. It's really exciting to have you as our new Parks and Recreation Director. So we're entering fall. The weather is cooling down, like I said before. So what are some things that Surprise Parks and Rec has to offer this fall?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going into our fall youth sports program where we have over 3,000 participants. That's 300 teams that are competing against each other. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the almost 400 volunteers and coaches that we have running those programs for us and helping mentor those youth. We also have adult programs. We have 80 adult league teams from a variety of basketball, there's football, volleyball, so a variety of adult sports. If that's not what you want to do, we're also going into our racket sports season. So we have racket sports, could be anything from pickleball to tennis to racquetball, so anything racket sports related. Sports and Tourism does a great job of bringing in nationally accredited tournaments from pickleball and from tennis, so you'll see those come through. But we have leagues for all ages, and pickleball is a great growing sport. So you have open play leagues, teams, you'll have tournaments for that too. So I think we can go to the elite athletes with our tournaments, and then are really involved with our leagues, and then going down to open play for beginners. I think we can hit really anyone who wants to go into those racket sports. And then if those aren't your ideas, right? So we like to call it a choose your play. You could do anything you want with special interest classes. So those are really areas of focus that it could be anywhere from dog training to gymnastics. We have martial arts, aquatic program, our USA club teams. And we also have this really new cool class called Slackline, which is basically where you're learning how to tightrope, but in obviously not high, but a safe environment. Sure. And we've brought in archery. Archery has been a very popular program, and that's been out for about a year. So lots of things for you to do and be involved and find your passion.
Absolutely. And so when we talk about recreation, that's all-inclusive programming. So what type of adaptive sports and programs do we have going into the fall and the winter time?
Well, in recreation, we want everyone to play. That is, we want to make sure that we can adapt any of our programs to all abilities. So we have some family events for our adaptive programs, and then we have sports. So we have a fall program, which is October 30th. So it's a family dance. We'll have a fishing derby in November 6th. That's a free event. We also have monthly classes going on. So we'll have virtual bingo. We have art classes, cooking classes. So many things that we can do and just make sure that we're making everyone is socializing and getting that chance to participate and learn and grow and find new hobbies and explore.
That's great, because we have so many seniors and families in Surprise. And speaking of our families, as we approach the holiday season, we have some events coming up. So what type of family events do we have going into the fall and winter time?
So we try to have a lot of our larger events, obviously, when the weather starts getting cooler. So we'll have some events coming up, Sundays in the Park, which will be, there's live music, food trucks, very popular, and we have kid zones at those. So those will be once a month in the fall, and then they'll come back in the spring, and we'll bring those back. We also have our Fiesta Grande in October. So October 9th, we'll have our Fiesta Grande event in our original town site, which we're really just making sure that we are honoring our heritage and celebrating. Then we roll into our Veterans Day parade. So November 11th on Veterans Day, we start at 7:30 in the morning with a pancake breakfast. And then we have a parade where we can get up to 100 participants. And that's really just trying to make sure we're honoring our veterans and our active duty military and just having a place for people to go to pay that tribute. Then we roll into our signature event, our surprise party. So this one's near and dear to my heart because it's about holidays, getting into the spirit. So it's a 2-day event starting Friday, December 3rd. We'll have our tree lighting. So we'll have tree lighting, hot air balloon glow, we'll have fireworks. And then I think I've convinced my friend Santa to come and join us and hang out with our residents. So hopefully we can get that organized and get everybody in to see him, or if not, drop off a letter. And then the next day, we'll also continue our party into the daytime, where we will have our special interest classes, our dance classes will be performing on the main stage. We'll have live entertainment. We'll again have some food that everybody loves coming out for those funnel cakes and corn dogs. And really just making sure it's all things fun and all things holiday for you to celebrate.
Great, awesome. So there are a lot of new park changes coming to Surprise too, as far as new parks and updates to existing parks. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, so we actually just opened Floyd Gaines Park in our original town site. So that is open for play, just opened the end of the summer. We have 2 big projects coming on, which is community park improvements for our Surprise Community Park. You can start to see things underway right now. We started redoing sodding. We're making sure our volleyball courts are updated, and we're grading things. We just got our contractor on board. We're going through our design phase, so there will be a lot more to come with that park, but really just making sure that we are taking care of our parks and what we have, and really just shining the apple and making sure that everything looks beautiful. So that's really just trying to take care of what we have. And then we actually have a new park that we're really excited about. As I had mentioned before, we have over 3,000 youth playing in our programs just in the fall. So we see over 9,000 youth a year in our leagues. So we need more places for them to play. We use sports and tourism, we use those spring training facilities, but there's an area right outside of Countryside Elementary School that we are going to build a multi-purpose sports field for. So we're underway, we're under development with that. We have design going through, just got our contractors on board, and we hope to start construction in 2022.
Awesome. That's super exciting. So do you think that we'll see that completed in 2022, or is it going to take us to 2023?
Well, it depends on if you're talking about fiscal year, calendar year.
Calendar year.
Calendar
You're in parks
year.
now.
Okay. Well, we have, we're hoping 2022, most likely fall. We don't have the timeline with the contractor, so I don't want to say too much, but definitely by the end of 22, but we're hoping for a sooner timeline depending on how we get with construction, permitting, and some shared use agreements.
Awesome. So when we're talking about new parks, specifically new field space, having new field space, what does that do for Surprise residents? What opportunities does that open up?
So like I had said, where we have 3,000 kids in our program just for the fall, we do have kids that are on wait lists. So we are at capacity with our current program. So having more field space will allow us to get kids off of the wait list. We will also be able to have an additional season. So while we don't run with the shared use with spring training, we don't run sports during spring training, but having an off-site location outside of that venue will give us the ability to offer more variety of sports for both adult and youth. Space is always good. It gives us more space to have other events. We can do rentals if we want to do rentals for other fields. And we also have our neighbors of Ottawa, so where they're always looking for field space too. So open space is incredibly important just for mental well-being and physical health. So just making sure that we have enough space and enough opportunities for our residents to be able to use it. And as you know, we just keep growing. So we are just trying to keep up with that growth and make sure that we don't turn people away who do want to play in our programs.
Absolutely, that's great. I'm glad that we're including as many people as possible with Parks and Recreation, because I think some people think that Parks and Recreation is only for kids, but it's not. It's for adults, it's for seniors, for families, and yes, for younger kids as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We are here for everyone. Like, you never stop recreating. I think that when you're a youth, that's where you figure out what your passion is and what your niche is. And then you continue to develop those skills into your adulthood, and you still play for fun. Like, if you want to go out and have fun, you can still play flag football. You can still play softball. You can still take dance and aerobics classes or go swimming. So you never stop that love of outdoors and enjoyment. I think you just hone in on what you like and what you're good at. So we never want people to stop recreating. And so anytime we can give people opportunities to explore that area, we're going to try to figure out a way to make everyone be able to play.
Okay, awesome. So Holly, let's talk libraries. What can you tell us about the Northwest Regional Library as well as the Asante Library that opened up a little bit ago?
Thank you for bringing that up. We have 3 libraries actually that we run that are regional libraries. We have our Northwest Regional Library on Bullard Avenue. We have our Hollyhock Library in our original town site. And then we just opened recently Asante Library for our northern part of Surprise. So that actually just won an architectural design. If you haven't seen it, it is a beautiful building. So not only do you go there and learn, you can just soak in the atmosphere of the beautiful architecture, award-winning architecture that we have in that facility.
Hollyhock Library.
We did a pilot program for the Hollyhock Library to extend their hours, and through the 2022 budget process, that was picked up. So we now have extended hours for our Hollyhock Library that will be open more often, and you get all of that information on our website for each one of the libraries and where they're open. But we are trying to make sure that we are open and we are here to make sure you have all the education tools you need to progress in your literacy.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us today, Holly. And thank you for watching. You can get details on all of our community events by heading to the city's website at surpriseaz.gov/recreation. If you have questions or comments for me, please reach out by phone or email. I also welcome you to subscribe to my monthly newsletter, which is filled with the latest city news and information. Just click the Notify Me button on my website to sign up. Thanks for watching.